Hey, Ari Kaplan, head of evangelism at Databricks, and we're back live at Summit Live here at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. Love seeing everyone here at the virtual summit all over the world. I hear 140 countries. It's now over 60,000 people have registered for the virtual conference. So thank you from all over the world. And I am here with Laurent and Chris, speaking from all over the world from France. Yeah,
France. Yeah, indeed.
Sure. And we're great to have a customer here as well.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about everything Databricks SQL. A lot of people know about it and have been using it since of the performance and cost and serverless, but also because of the intelligent data warehouse aspect of it. But I travel around the world and people I kind of heard about it, but don't really know much about it. And some people oh, Databricks has a DB SQL, but it actually has been our fastest growing product out there. It's been remarkable because of all of those reasons. So with that, I wanted to have you two introduce yourselves.
Yeah, thank you, Ari. So my name is Laurent. As you mentioned, I'm based out of France, working as a data warehouse migration specialist and covering EMEA for these questions. And for what you mentioned, Databricks SQL is really the fastest growing solution we have in terms of data warehouse. If we look back, imagine Databricks SQL has been GA'd in 2021, and now it's really mature to support all of these data warehouse workloads, supporting SQL and driving performance at the very best cost performance ratios that we could have. And with lots of innovation in this product, we have, of course, this serverless infrastructure. We have now new features coming from the AI world to support and to connect the descriptive and the predictive analytics worlds. So very good solution that have a bright future in the data warehouse ecosystem. And today, I'm very happy to welcome Chris here because a couple of years or months ago, we started an Oracle Exadata migration project. So maybe you can quickly introduce yourself, and then we will dig into the details.
So I'm Chris Ernst. I'm a data architect with Amadeus, and Amadeus is a travel IT organization. We've got dozens of products that travel or that follow a guest through hotel stays or through bookings, etc., and also for travelers and with airlines, either with reservations or bookings, costs. Searches, etc. Right. We've got several different commercial products that are analytics driven, and one of the data warehouses that we support is going through the migration, as Laurent mentioned earlier. And so this is kind of the we're finally starting to see some of the improvements and some of the results from the testing and things like that we've been doing with our migration. So it's really exciting.
So maybe you can have a look at a quick slides just to show you to the people what was the architecture and how you drive this migration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
sorry. So on the top here, we've got our very simplified view of our old architecture, where the data flows from right to left, where we've got files and streaming sources that go through some preparation and separate compute, and then through our data warehouse to a platinum level, basically, with our data set that sits in Druid that has extremely rapid query results that we're looking for to drive our UI. We have a custom UI rather than using something commercial off the shelf. And really, the intent here is just to emphasize the fact that this is we don't have anything that's super bespoke, that's super outlandish versus anything that might be present in other products or in even relatively complex analytic spaces otherwise, right? Whenever you break it down, these are the core pieces. What we were excited about is not just with Databricks SQL, but with other pieces and features within Databricks, we were able to consolidate a lot of our resources so that instead of needing to do as much preparation before our Exadata tile, we could use Databricks to do our additional prep and then move it through our data warehouse and then use DB SQL to do the serving layer with our custom applications.
Okay, and so regarding the migration that you already did or processed, what are the level of performance did you get in terms of, if you compare to what you had in Oracle?
Yeah, so it was actually pretty great. So this chart emphasizes the differences in performance that we saw in some of our query times. So this is a really extreme example because we've got a pretty large set of records that we were trying to find, where we're looking at 25 trillion records for about 6 months or so of search, right? So these searches, these are coming from the Amadeus GDS. So if a travel agent or an OTA like Expedia or even Google Flights, if you're searching for a flight from a city to a city for a given set of dates and a number of passengers, all those sorts of things, each of those searches would be a record with this data set. And the queries that we were looking for came from our custom application, the UI, the query that goes against to drive our dashboards. So we had from our result set, we took a 6-month range of search results for 2 specific destinations from any city to 2 specific destinations for 2 specific travel dates. And the chart that you're seeing here really emphasizes the mostly the timeout that we set for the testing, but it also shows how much better performance we were seeing with Databricks SQL versus some of our other spaces. In this test, we actually loaded the data into 4 different technologies. We've got the data in we have the data in our Oracle Exadata space. We also loaded it into Druid alongside a bunch of our other data that's serving our applications. And then we've got another warehouse that's in Redshift that has some custom software on top of it. And we also check the performance against that space. And we in Databricks SQL, it's important to point out that we had liquid clustering enabled on this table, and there wasn't really a lot of other prep that we did otherwise. It was load the data, a little bit of configuration, and move on. Versus with with Oracle Exadata, we after this test we did a little bit more tuning and things like that to find to see if we could improve the performance just a little bit to not hit our timeout, right? But the performance here is pretty spot on with what we saw.
Yeah, it's really impressive the performance gains that you had
for sure.
And did you have any reason about? Of course, Databricks SQL is very performant, but the difference is really huge. So
we're able to separate the compute and the storage, of course, with the Lakehouse, and also our Oracle Exadata space is never as quiet as a single Databricks warehouse cluster would be. And so all the time where we're doing these tests, we're also loading our data through our standard loading processes. And we just have the one set of lanes that go in and out through our MPP space, right? So the fact that we can spin up additional compute to do things like separate the ingestion from the streaming processes and from the files and things like that, completely independent from what's being queried from our applications. That's really the emphasis here.
Yeah, that just looking at this, that's super impressive. Fun fact, I used to be president of the Worldwide Oracle User Group. Thomas Kurian, Larry Ellison here in Moscone. But Exadata back in the day, like 20 years ago, was like the fastest thing on the market. So this is incredible. And I love your point, like the serverless. I know a lot of people, like just to provision a new data warehouse takes a lot of time often. And when I do demos, like I actually do my own demos, it's all live and so on. Sometimes I give a demo and, like I forgot to start up a server. I did it like a week ago and it just starts up in it seems like 3 to 5 seconds for me. And that is just incredible. It works is the phrase that I hear.
Right.
And something that is also very important is to have a clear migration methodology to migrate. And so at Databricks, we are usually using two different methodologies, the ingest first and the BI first. What is the one that you use for your migration?
Yeah, we're following the ingest first, right? So we want to make sure that we have enough time with our migration to adjust all of the ETL processes, because we're changing technologies and languages and all of those sorts of things. And our serving layer is pretty consistent, and so for us, it's the bigger work is to get the data moved. So we started there.
Okay. So very, very interesting to know that our customers are following the methodologies that we recommend.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll let you conclude this.
Okay,
this
great. Well, we're
interview if you want.
gonna conclude, but yeah, it's so great. You're actually our first customer. We have many more coming up, and we have a great schedule coming on. Wanted to thank you from Dallas and from France.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on and sharing
sure.
your story.
Thank you, Harry.
All right, thanks. And now we're going to toss the keynote recap video.
Super excited. 4, 3, 2. What impressed me the most was the agentic AI and the presentation that we had, where we had a live demo of how you could build those AI agents, all out of the box through a Databricks.
Bringing this concept of OLTP to the lakehouse. So that's probably, I'm interested to see what we can do there.
He talks about leaders in organizations, how they should be open-minded and make sure that how you lead the people is always with keeping in mind that everyone is different, but you need to listen to them and also listen to your clients.
Agent Bricks is very, very cool. Yeah, that announcement with Neon is probably my favorite.
Agent Bricks seems like it's going to be the new up and coming, and I think it's going to be awesome.